G'day and welcome to another episode of Tech Adept Crafts. Today we are looking at the July Patreon piece for TAC. This amazing ruined watchtower designed by Ian Lovecraft is currently available for the month of July over on our TAC Patreon. If you'd like to get that, jump on over to patreon.com/techadeptcrafts. You will be able to download it there as part of the Hobby Goodness or as a member of the Full Tackle. What else do you get by supporting the channel? Well, you get to join me for a live stream every month. If you're on the Full Tackle, you get to join our Discord as a member of any level. But not only that, you get to support Anala. Anala is a charity organisation here in Cherrybrook, and they help support people with various disabilities, and they are a wonderful organisation that I really love supporting. So if you would like to have that same feeling of I've done something good, come and join us over at TAC and become a Hobby Goodness member or a member of the Full Tackle, or even just throw a coin in the bard. So this ruined watchtower is actually a remake of the watchtower that Ian designed for Dark Alleys. This is a beautiful piece of terrain, but it's a little too pretty. So we have a ruined version, which is no less pretty as a piece of terrain, but has just got that character of how did it break? How did this become a ruin? How did it go from this to this? If you'd like to have the answer to that conundrum, stick around to the end of the video, because we find out exactly why this becomes a ruined watchtower. In the meantime, sit back, enjoy the tutorial. I'll be skipping through it fairly quickly because it is very similar to the one that we did last month with Smuggler's Cove. So a lot of the same techniques were used at the start, so I have skipped through those fairly quickly until it started to change tactic. Here is the watchtower. Enjoy. Okay, here we go. We are using this replica burnt umber. We are spraying it over all of the woodwork. This is my starting point, so I do it with a lot of models to begin with. Gluing this together helps you to then match the colors from one piece to the next. Otherwise, you've got to always keep putting them together to see that the colors actually match. To start the dry brushing, I am using a blend of burnt umber, raw sienna, and a yellow ochre. And this is the first dry brush layer over all of that woodwork. Second dry brush layer is then using a more grey version of that same colour. Painting the stonework is the next job, and this is just using a standard grey. When I did the original tower, I did paint this a lot darker, which I really like, but to match the rest of my terrain, I am going back to a standard grey. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the supporters over on Patreon. You guys are fantastic, and they really do help to keep this channel going, and they do an amazing job of supporting Anala. The donations that we get to give each month really do make a difference. In particular, I'd like to thank the people of the Full Tackle. These guys are legendary, and I really, really do appreciate your support. Andreas Rocco, David Bennett, David Scaberis, Death Thorn, Ian and Tiger O'Connell, Jean Maguire, Joel Cunningham, Kent Rutherford, Christina B, Lester Spicer, Lamelio, La Piana, Lord Deliverer, Michael Carty, Mousetrap Creations, Sean McKinley, and Toggers. Thanks guys, I really, really couldn't do this without your support. Dry brushing is absolutely the name of the game here. We are adding consecutive layers of a lighter grey to that stonework, mixing in a little bit of extra colours to go with it. Then all of the metallic pins and braces and trim across the whole model get this metallic silver colour. Then using the black wash from Jeremy over at Black Magicraft, we are adding this to all of the base to dirty it up and make it look grimy. This then also forms a trim around the bottom of the model, about sort of a 1 centimeter to like 1/2 inch. And then also all of the metallic work gets this black wash. The columns that support around the model, these get an extra black wash later as well. If you also use this black wash to create like a false shading in the timber beaming, where you've got, due to the nature of 3D printing, it's not always possible to have that separate layer of timbers that overlap. But if you use that shading, you can achieve the same effect. Unbleached titanium now for the candles. This is a good color to use to represent that wax. And this then gets a wash of brown later. Using 3 colors to paint each of these sets of foliage. I've got 3 different purples and then 3 different greens. Didn't end up using the middle purple one, but that's okay. Start with the dark base, work it up with dry brushing to get that beautiful popping effect of the foliage. As you can see here, I'm mixing the different purples together, but I really didn't like that mid-tone. It was far too blue a purple, so we ended up just going with the lighter purple, or almost a pink, and mixing that with the darker one to get my mid-tone, and then using just the straight light for the highlight. Brown wash, again just dirtying up that base, make it look like the dust is settling and making it all sort of really just dirty. Once it's totally dry, you guessed it, another dry brush. And again. This one has a little bit of that yellow oxide in it, just to change the color of the stones. And it's fairly light. I'm not trying to do a heavy dry brush here, it's really just trying to catch those raised edges. A final little dusting along the edges of those darker pillars. And I think that's pretty much it.
So there you have the Watchtower. But how did it break? I did say that I'd let you know what happened to this. As always, a wizard did it. As the battle for the town intensifies, the vampire has secured the bridge, clearing off most of the town's guard. The necromancer is holding the tower. You guys are really stuck here. You have to defend the citizens. They are fleeing back to safety. But it is a busy day here in the town. What are you going to do? ladies and gents, I hope that you enjoyed that little game. We had a lot of fun putting that together. It was a mammoth effort to get all of that city painted over the past 2 weeks, and I hope that you appreciate all of the townsfolk, which, if you'd like to see some photos of all of the townsfolk that I painted up over the past week, jump on over to Instagram and check out Tech Edit Crafts there. There are some more photos of the townsfolk there. Anyway, until next time, keep hobbying. Cheers.
Woo!